7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Coming soon. Snake River Manufacturing is developing a revolutionary new way to design and build a custom kayak trailer. This modular design lets you customize your trailer one piece at a time, allowing you to grow as you go.
You know, a lot of folks think gorillas can't read. But when the magazine's this good, even I had to subscribe.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me for episode 62 of the Kayak Cafe Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Snake River Manufacturing. Go to snakerivermanufacturing.us and check out all of the kayak trailers that Steve and the crew are putting together. If you are unable to get one of his trailers, he has some amazing, innovative attachments that can be retrofitted to possibly fit your current kayak trailer. So if you see his rock and rollers and you want to put them on yours, just give him a call and say, hey, I heard on the Kayak Cafe that you might be able to pimp my ride, and I'm pretty sure he can make that happen. All right. So, and if you haven't had an opportunity, please go check out the Team Kayak series on Facebook. They have a great format where you and a buddy can get out there and do some fishing, share bag limits, share information, have fun, get out there and do what you like to do, and compete with some camaraderie. So with everything going on, I think it's awesome to have a tournament series where you're encouraged to communicate with someone and you're able to share tips, techniques, and things like that without being penalized. So that's always good. So awesome. Well, tonight we have a guest. This gentleman, I've known him for a little while. We chat from time to time, and every time I talk to him, he's got something new and innovative coming out, and I'm going to bring him in here without further ado. This is Mr. Donnie Cass with Game Changer Baits. Hello, Donnie. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, we chat a lot on the phone. This is the first time seeing each other face to face.
Yeah.
So pleasure to meet you.
You also.
So for those people that don't know who you are, could you give like a brief rundown of who Donnie Cass is and what you do?
Yes. I own Game Changer Bait. I've had it for 2 years, but prior to that, I've had 3 other fishing lure companies. I started when I was 25 back in 1995, and we were a 4-week-old company and one ICAST. And God just keeps moving us to the forefront of wild and crazy things, and we just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Sweet. So where'd you grow up, and what kind of
I grew up in Piedmont and around the Canadian County area in Oklahoma, around the Piedmont area is where I graduated from.
Nice. So who introduced you to fishing first? Was it something you did your whole life, or?
No, my dad and my papa. They got me one of those very first. It was a trigger pull Zebco.
Mm-hmm.
I still have it, and man, I wore that thing out 3 or 4 times, and they got it rebuilt, and never got into bait casting until I was probably 15, and maybe I was a little bit younger. It's when that first Bantam Shimano came out,
mm-hmm.
and the wood handles on it.
Yes,
and back then it was the first Daiwa Procaster. I think it was a Procaster back then. But yeah, I mean, we just go way back to when it all started, and it's been a heck of a ride, man. I mean, it really has. I've invented things for other companies and stuff, and
mm-hmm.
just the innovation side of making something work that looks different,
Yeah,
it is where it's at.
Yeah, I love the Zebcos. I mean, I don't have any now, but when the kids were learning to fish and you pick it up, you look around, make somebody's watching you. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
I was a Shimano fan my whole life.
Mhm.
And about 2 years ago, my buddy Jesse Simpkins, that runs St. Croix Rod into things there, got me into 7 reels. And man, I'm telling you what, I sold every Shimano I had.
Wow.
Yeah, those new 7s are the deal. But anyway, it's just an evolving thing as we go through, and we brought out probably 11 new products this year. And
Sweet.
the reason we did that, and funding's tight for everybody in America right now, but
Yeah.
we were slowly doing things, and I just wasn't getting traction in the market,
Yeah.
And I've been in this deal long enough to know that there's only one reason you're not getting traction. And that's because you're not being seen. And like I resisted the minnow thing for 2 years. I just wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
A guy set me down. His name's John Owen, and he said, "You really got to have different things." He goes, "Guys go to your website and they won't buy that minnow, but they see these other things and they'll buy those too." And he was right about that. And then we got Tyler Brinks involved with us, and he's helping us quite a bit. And
You've got to definitely go with the market. So
right, and innovation's where it's at, and not only innovation, Roy, but it has to work, right? I mean, when I build a bait, I don't design it as, oh, that looks cool. I design it on what's it do in the water, how's it react, and can I take and do different things with that? Like we've got this boogeyman, right? Oh, see that, and it's got all these appendages on it. So when it falls in the water, they all move back and forth like a frog kicking, right? Now it's a real thick body, and the guy that shoots it for me doesn't like doing it. But the cool thing about this bait is when you're done turning the body up, you can cut these legs off and use them for Ned rig baits.
That's true.
So you got 5 baits in one.
Yeah.
So, that's what we try to do. We just try to create an innovation and something different.
So when you were starting out, what gear did you use beyond that? Were you like a bobber and hook guy, or did you?
No. I always, when I first started, they started me out like that. We were bass fishing, and my papa and my daddy take me. We go catfishing sometimes, and but 99.9% of the time we were bass fishing.
So what was like a go-to bait back then? Because I had a bag full of like retro red man stuff, and
yeah. I can tell you what it was back then. Super simple, because my papa had a tackle box full of it. It was a Lucky 13.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we used. The Lucky 13 and the hula popper and the jitterbug.
Yes. The hula popper was my jam. I loved that, and the pop R.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the pop R didn't come along until
my generation.
95. Yeah, I'm 60. So yeah, I mean, it came along later, but the Lucky 13, I mean, I don't know why that thing's still not popular. I caught more fish on that bait than I did on any other bait when I was young my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started making my own stuff. And
were you a jitterbug fan?
A little bit,
I was always intrigued by the jitterbug. I've got a bunch of them. I have like 8 of them behind me right now that I just went to the flea market and they had them for sale. And I was like, yeah, I want those.
Well, I'll tell you, the topwater bait of choice for me back then, and it was just because they ate it so good, was the devil's horse.
Oh, yes. I have one of those on the dash of my car. Yeah.
Yeah, devil's horse.
I was with my son, and I was like, oh, look at that. And he's like, what is it? I was like, the devil's horse. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, I have failed. So were you guys bank fishermen, or were you boat, or how?
Yeah, back then we were bank fishing. They dropped me off at a pond and come get me at dark.
Oh yeah.
Or I'd ride my bike wherever I wanted to go. I mean, you used to be able to ride your bike all over the country, but
not so much anymore.
Can't let a kid do that now.
No. Yeah, I remember I've gone to some ponds without permission before, and when I came back, they're like, "Where were you?" I was like, "Fishing." Yeah, well, that didn't end too well for me. So mostly bass. So that's a fun. That's always a good start for kids, especially if you get something that's of some size. You got
Right.
the pull, you got the fight, you got the full on feel.
Right.
So, when you were, so what have you taken from your you said your dad, your papa, like when they were teaching you, what principles do you still carry through from them to today?
Man, they didn't. They just knew that you threw it out and wanted it in back then. They didn't. They didn't know. You twitched it, or I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was just. It was just a different. It was a different era growing up back then. So a lot of stuff I learned from a good friend of mine, Jimmy Houston, and I learned it when I was a kid because I watched all of his TV shows, and he taught me how to throw a jig. You stick a telephone book underneath your arm, a small telephone book, and you
Mm-hmm.
hold it there, and then that's how you just your arm right through here, your wrist and arm is what's moving. You're not moving all of it.
Mm.
So
That's some old school juice right there.
yeah, man, he and I just sent him some pictures with all the new baits that we just did, all the Lifelike stuff, and he's like, man, those look so good.
Yeah. Half of the people here are like, oh yeah, telephone book. And then the rest of them are like, what's a telephone book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I learned how to fish back then,
Mm-hmm.
and as I grew up, I just watched all the shows and stuff, and Bill Dance and all those guys. And, we were just blessed beyond belief. I mean, what 4-week-old tackle company goes into a fish tank with sharks and beats them all? I mean, God's good, man. That's all I can tell you. I was, I think I was ordained 3 weeks before I went there.
Wow.
And the Lord just kept moving and moving. He's just been there my whole life. I mean, I don't have anybody. I can't thank my dad enough or any of that. I mean, without having God standing right beside me, walking me through this whole time, I never probably got where I'm going.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I was going to ask you who are some of the anglers you looked up to, but you sort of touched on Jimmy Houston and.
Well, I'll tell you, he was 3 really close friends of mine, and it's because after I won that award, they just kind of took me in and befriended me, and that was Ray Scott, Tom Mann, and Cotton Cordell. That's the juice right there, Yes. And all 3 of those guys, I thought about taking a Walmart job at one time to be the buyer,
mm-hmm.
and they all 3 wrote me recommendation letters along with the editor at Bassmasters magazine. So I don't know why all those guys like me like they did. I mean, I'm just glad that they were, and I'm glad that they were close enough friends that I had them on speed dial on my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know too many people can go out and say that those guys wrote recommendation letters, or even if they were good friends, that they would go out of their way to do something like that. I mean, right. I was just blessed beyond belief. I mean, that's all there is to it. You're just blessed beyond belief.
Yeah, I talked to some people who are in the kayak world who were like around during the inception of, let's say, kayaks. Like kayaks have been around for a long time, but the fishing end of it, when they started doing the innovations of fishing kayaks and the accessories and the tournaments, like they're all this small hub of people that work together. So it's really cool to hear that you were in the mix with some of the early innovators and heavy hitters of the bass community.
I was, after I got back from ICAST, I got a call from Tim Lilly. I don't know if you know who he is or not, but he ran back then. It wasn't called Nitro. It was called Tracker Marine.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the new Nitro Savages out, and he said, "Hey, how'd you like to be on our pro team?" And I'm like, "How do you even know who I am?" And I said, "Well, that'd be great." And it's just because of the lure company and winning,
Mm-hmm.
And back then, we didn't have to do memo pads. When Tim was involved, we just turned the boat in every year and got a new boat. We didn't have to sell it or anything, you know? So when I went, and I didn't really realize that till at the end. And he said, you need to go turn that boat in. I said, okay. What do I do next year? He goes, well, just go pick the one out you want. Wow. All right.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the kayak company did that for me.
And if I'd have known I could have got the 21 foot the first time, I'd have got that instead of the 19.
Yeah, that's the thing about when you appreciate someone doing something for you, you don't always go for the top line.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
if you're willing to do something, whatever you can send my way, I
Right.
appreciate. So
Right. Yeah.
So what was the moment that you realized like fishing's more than just a hobby?
Oh man. Probably when I was about 17. And I just started gluing things together and melting them and pushing them and pulling them and started catching fish on my own stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And back then we didn't have this stuff. Garage guys out there doing all that, you know, and pouring and making their own stuff. And it's cool that you can do that.
Yeah.
From a business owner, it sucks.
Yeah, I'm a photographer. I own a studio, and everyone with a camera on their phone is my competition. So
yeah,
I get it.
And I don't have a knock on them, man. If they want to go out and do it, that's cool, you know. But I had a guy call me the other night, and I actually got a hold of him first, and he made a little crappie bait. It's super cool, and I wanted to get thousands of them and print them, you know, like I do my other stuff. And he just point blank asked me, he said, you think a small guy can make it in this business? I said, well, if you can answer this question, then yeah, because he was going to retire.
Yeah.
And I said, can you afford to lose $250,000? And he said, oh, hell no. And I said, well, it's not your business. And then I asked him, I said, how much you got in it? And he said, so far I've got 80 in it. I said, have you got your money back? He said, no. I said, have you got half your money back? Because he'd been doing it for like 2.5 or 3 years. And he said, no. I said, you're already in trouble. I said, now, if you enjoy just making a few baits and just want it to be a hobby for you, then do that. But do not go into full-blown production because it will eat your lunch.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the money to back the ads, and if you're just not in the mix, you know, it's tough. Look, after 15 years, I came back to do it. And let me tell you something, this game has changed so much from when I left to when I came back in. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's kind of evolved like the fishing. Like you were saying back when you first started, it was cast and reel. Now it's so many techniques. So
yeah, you know, all the kids out there are scoping. I get it, you know, and I'm not watching it on TV, and I don't think anybody else does either. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a kid scope all day long. But if that's their jam, that's their jam, right? Can't really do anything about it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think any of the other guys, and I won't name any names, but the top guys, none of them are happy about it. You can't make a living off of minnow baits. There's crankbaits and spinner baits and glide baits and all the other stuff, you know. So they think that we're knocking on these kids, and we are and we aren't. All right, we are because we as a tackle company can't make a living doing that. Now, my second thought into that deal is, if they took that away from all of them, could they still compete? And I have to tell you, probably no. I mean, not seriously, not like the Browers and the Van Dams and the Evers and all those guys. I don't think they wouldn't hold a candle to them. And the way to prove that would just be out there and have them go fish the NPFL series for 1 year. And if they can hang on to their own in that tournament series, hey, good on you. But I don't think so, you know. And it's not that we're knocking on it at all. Coming from a business standpoint only, that is going to destroy this industry if they don't change it into the. It doesn't have a place. It's like a, to me, and I may be all wet, all right. But Lance Armstrong got hammered for blood doping, right? Well, they called him a cheater. I don't know, since it's legal, it's not cheating. So I don't want to hear any hate mail on that.
Yeah,
it's not, but it's no different than that. And he got barred. So, when you're in that game of things, I guess, I don't know. For me, I'll just leave it. I'm just going to drop it. It's just not.
yeah.
It's not for me. And we do make baits for that now, but it's just not. It's not.
So basically, with everyone scoping, they want a specific type of bait, which limits the amount of your products that you can sell to them.
Oh, 100%.
And then
100%.
It makes the rest of your products
right.
less desirable to a lot of people. So you get a lot of inventory that just sits. I get it.
Yeah.
Did you ever fish competitively?
I did.
Any cool stories?
About 5 years. No, not really. I wouldn't. Those guys,
You need to scope.
There is a cool story. The time that I got in with Nitro, and it was the same time Edwin Evers got in, and we ran out of the same arena. We ran out of Jimmy Hughes' marina. And as a matter of fact, we're on a. Hang on a minute. If you'll hang on one second, I'll get underneath my desk and I'll grab this real quick. Oh, sorry about that. It fell off the wall. So this is the calendar.
Oh, wow.
I'm right here. Where's Edwin? Harmon. And there's Edwin.
Nice.
That was way back, man. That's a throwback. What year?
Sportsman's calendar.
1998.
$4. Yeah. Bet you that calendar would be more than that now.
Yeah. So that's a cool story. I mean, and Edwin remembered that, and I think I sent him one of them. But anyway, yeah, that and meeting Ray, and we could go on for 3 hours for cool stories,
Oh, yeah. So do you have any mistakes that you made along the way with either bait making or?
Oh, yeah. Partners.
Yeah.
100%. If you're going to do this
and
you don't have the money to do it, don't do it. Because you get those guys in and they're used to doing X, Y, and Z, and you're focused on this. That's building baits, coming up with new concepts, and they're over here doing this. We do this. We got to do this. It don't work.
Right. You got to both be on the same page. So, yeah, it's hard to get two people that are the same level of motivation in almost anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if you're pushing a car or building a business.
Right.
One of you is not pushing hard enough.
Right.
And one of you pushing way too hard.
Right.
So what gave you the confidence to build a bait and have it go to ICAST? Because you were 17 when that happened, you said, around then?
I think I was 21.
21? So at 21 years old, you made a bait and you're like, I'm going to go to ICAST and
no.
No?
I had a guy in Oklahoma City, and he was painting baits, and I loved him. And I made him an offer. I said, "Hey, look, I want to do this deal. I want to do a bait company, but I want you to paint all the baits, everything we're doing." All right. Well, we get down to it, and he decided not to do it. So 8 days before this show, I'm in my garage painting baits.
Wow.
So the Lord works in mysterious ways. And he wasn't going to give me the paint codes for the bait, for the paint. So I got lucky that the guy that worked there knew that he was a flake,
Mm-hmm.
who worked at the paint place, and he gave me the paint.
Wow.
So after I won, I had way too much confidence. Well, you go in and you absolutely beat the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world's hardest show. You're in there competing against Pradco and all those guys,
Yeah.
and you beat them. I don't think it ever sunk in totally for about a year. I was riding so far up here, so fast, and meeting everybody and doing all those things. I never had time to. And one day I sat down and I thought about it. I said, Lord, I don't know how you did it, but man, I sure am glad you did it. And I talk about the Lord a lot, but Ben, let me tell you something. I couldn't do it without him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even general stuff during the week, just by myself, not necessarily the business, but just life. And he's walked me through so many good things and so many bad things. But the thing that I have is faith, and I just never have lost that.
Yes.
So
yeah, my parents, we grew up going to church, and I'm not as into it as they are now. I still have the belief, and I see the things that happen around me, and they're just they're not coincidence. But
right, you don't have to go to church to know Jesus, man. That's a lie the church tells you.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. But man, I appreciate you bringing me on here, and it's an honor to be here. I've known you for a long time, and you've helped me out a lot. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show these guys something. So this is our bait. It's called the Glide. And Roy did all the photography work for us for these baits. And let me tell you something. I'm going to plug you a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever need anything photographed or done digitally, this guy's the guy to go to. 100% class act.
I appreciate that.
He does the best work that I've seen, in a long, long, long time. And he didn't charge me for it. I sent him some product, and he's just been a great guy to deal with. If you're in the kayak stuff or whatever you're doing, if you need any kind of digital thing or photography and you don't go him, you're missing the boat. And that's
appreciate that.
Fact.
Yeah, in the second half, we're going to get into these baits, and we're going to go in depth on what went into what happened to make you think of them, because as you'll see, guys, the baits are next level. So, so what? Well, let me ask you this, because you said you started early on. What do you think's changed with fish that the old techniques won't work? Because I remember growing up, man, I would take a popper and I would just have fish after fish after fish, or I would take just a plain black speed worm was the go-to, and I would just nail them. Yeah. And now, you go ahead. I was going to say,
that's a good question. Mm-hmm. And I think what it is for the most part is certain baits make certain noises in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially topwater baits. Mm-hmm. And I don't know I know you can. That's a lot. You can train fish. You can train them. So my thought is they got to where they heard it all the time and got caught so much, they're just like, nah, I'm out, or they saw it or whatever it is. Now that's in clear water, right? So you throw that whole adage out in muddy water, except for the topwater baits where they could see it and have the sound and everything, because back then other baits really didn't make a lot of noise unless you use a crankbait, and some of them didn't even have rattles in them until way later,
Right.
So, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, because I've always wondered, like, you watch some of these, and I know that fishing pressure, you throw the same lure past the fish 20 times, he's like, man, I'm just hungry. I'm just hungry, and that's not what's on. That's not what's for dinner. Yeah, it's like no more. Like my wife, no more Chinese. Yeah,
I think a lot of these guys, a lot of these pros miss it. They're moving down the bank so fast, and I had 30 rods tied up, and I had 15, and each one had something different on it, and then I mirrored the same thing in the box on the other side. So if I broke off, I could just throw that rod in the box, pick up the other one up with the same thing on it, and keep on moving.
Yeah.
What I was taught early on, and I really just taught it was something I taught myself, was to slow down. And once I started slowing down, I knew there were fish in that area. So I just threw all 15 of those. I would throw all 15 of those until I didn't get bit. If I didn't get bit, I just left the area. But I made sure I fished it out. And I made sure that I didn't miss anything. All right, I'm gonna throw a spinnerbait. Nope, that didn't work. I'm gonna throw a jig. That didn't work. I'm gonna throw a dance shake and shad. That is, whatever.
Right.
When I was young, they didn't have that when I was young. And I just taught myself to methodically pick it over and do what you can to attract that bite. And if they weren't biting those and you threw it in various colors, size, shapes, everything, then they're not going to eat it. You just keep on moving. But guys that just burn down a bank, I think they leave a lot of fish in the water.
Yeah, I've often wondered that because, I'm not a competition angler, but even if I were, I like to pick it apart. There are 4 sides to every tree, in my opinion, so
right.
I like to just work my way through but I get the concept of going quick,
Oh, I get it.
But
I think you leave a lot of fish in the water.
So you've seen all the changes from beginning to now. What do you hope that never changes?
Kids' enthusiasm.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I hope that kids' enthusiasm never changes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna step off in this again. Man, I don't know if we should go down that road. If you teach a kid to scope and you don't teach him the basics of how to fish, you've done that kid a disservice. If you teach him how to fish a bank line, a tree line, structure, drop-offs, points, all the things that it takes to be a pro fisherman, then, and you do those things, you've put everything you can in his hand, plus now you've gave him a new tool. But if you start him off young on the old scope.
Yeah. Well, so I'll give you a good example of what you just said. Was I was an automotive technician for like 23 years. The first vehicle that I took apart, I had to use hand tools. There were air guns and everything sitting next to me, but I had to use the hand tools to know the feel of the torque and everything and get it going. And then you work your way into your air guns, and then you work your way up to it.
Right.
And I could see the principle behind that. So that does make sense. Because if you're dependent on that one piece of electronics, I also in photography, I see people that are dependent on their camera flashes and gear, and when it goes down, they're done. Like,
right.
Oh, it's not working. I'm like, well, you know how to adjust it manually, right? You know how to make the flashes go manually, correct? No, they don't. They're used to the whole
right.
Yeah.
Automation.
Yeah. And then when you're around someone who's a pro and you never know it went down,
like
it stopped working, but they didn't. So,
right.
So I grasped that concept really well through life experiences. So,
right.
Some people hear that and they won't.
Again, I'm not hating on your life.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, if you teach your kids from the beginning to do that, you've done a disservice. I think that they need to be taught the basics, and it's just like walking. You pull up, you crawl, you pull up, you hold something. It's the same concept, and if that's what they want to do, God bless you. I mean, I hope it all works out perfect. I'm just saying for professionals, for professional bass fishing, I just don't think there's a place for it.
All right, so let's get into the path of game changer bait.
All right.
What made you want to get back into bait making? Because you said that you had several businesses before,
The lack of different stuff. The only different stuff you ever saw really was coming out of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was making the dancing shad at the same time Panorama came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Panorama does, and they did the fishermen a disservice. Two ways, right? And I'm not knocking them. I'm just going to show you. Two ways. One is when you open the package, right?
Mm-hmm.
It smells like vinyl ink. That's because it is. And what they didn't do, I'm not going to say on here because I don't want them to know the secret. But there's something that they didn't do to get that to go away. Second thing is they kept it pretty thick all the way through it. Ours, see, it looks thick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's paper thin. I left the head thick so you have something to stick in it for a hook to use. Hang on here. I usually have stuff laying all over my desk. Tonight I don't. So
Usually one time I clean up, I need it.
Oh, I know, man. It's just always that way. So I developed a hook for this bait. It's called the Dancing Shad. It's called a weighted weedless wacky hook. So it's got a weed guard on it. You can see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Have it down. So what I did that for was, this is just an 1/8 ounce. And this thing's super, super light. So in a bait caster, it'd be super tough to throw it, But
Right.
the action on this thing, and they can go to our website, gamechangerbait.com, and I got videos of it. But how I hook it is, I just go right in through the nose. Right there. So when you're jigging that, when you're moving that thing in the water, this
Mm-hmm.
thing is moving like a dead fish, like a dying fish, right?
Right.
And when they look up at it, they see the live picture of the fish. So it looks like a die. So from bottom up, if they're looking, they see this fish laying on its side, dying.
Right. It has a very unique kick to it because I've used them myself, and it's very fun to watch.
Yeah. You never know what we're going to come out with.
So what are the other uses? I've used it for a chatterbait trailer myself.
Yeah, chatterbait, a jig trailer. It's
Mhm.
great if you can get you whatever color of the bait you get. If you can get the same color jig, or make it, and then it's the total package. Yeah. You can't really Texas rig it. It ain't gonna, it's just not. It's not made to do that.
Right.
But that's a super unique bait. And
Was that the first bait that you made for Game Changer? What was the first bait Game Changer?
Yeah, actually, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the spinner bait, and then the triple threat and the boogeyman, and then it's just spiraled gone on from there. But yeah, that was the first one I made, and I honestly, when I was making it, I wasn't going to make it for myself. I had a guy that approached me to do something for him. Then he burned me on doing it, so it made me mad. So I just did it.
I think that we are a lot alike in that aspect. Like, if you ask someone to do it and they either don't do it for you, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to do it myself.
Yeah, the worst thing you could ever tell me, growing even today. I mean, even when I was a little kid, was no.
Yeah,
I was gonna do it. I just had to figure out how I was gonna do it.
One of my first jobs was working on a farm, and the owner of the farm, he would always look at me and go, "Roy, someone made it before us. We can make it now." I was like, "What does that even mean?" And man, break out the welder and the metal break, and next thing you know, you've got whatever broke right in front of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have the triple threat here, which I've caught some really big fish on this myself. This is a really unique bait. What was the thought process behind that?
Oh,
Like-
let me see that again. I'm sorry. Which one was it?
The triple threat.
Oh, so nothing had been done different than the Cinco, right? And Gary's a really close friend of mine, and as a matter of fact, I worked for him for a while. There hadn't been anything as good as the Cinco in a long time, and it was a single appendage, and each appendage moved, and a lot of guys didn't know how to make that move, right? Well,
Mhm.
I had the honor of knowing how that happened. So I just went and got some 4-inch Cincos and welded them onto it, right? And then when I use it, I throw it just like this. I throw it on I can either use that weighted hook, weighted wacky weedless hook that we have,
Mhm.
just a plain wacky, hook that's got a weed guard on it. And when I did it, all three of these legs moved in unison. The middle one kind of moves different than the top two. It doesn't quite move with it. So they all three kind of move separately. And when I put that in the water, I said, okay, I got something. So I bought like 75 bags of regular Cincos and 150 bags of those little ones. And honestly, I just started making them for myself and fishing them for years. And then I got back to this and I pulled that thing back out and I said, we're going to make a move on this. And when I did that, I did the same. I saw the regular body baits, like all the beaver style baits,
Mhm.
I thought, man, there's got to be something different than that. And I screwed around, had a bunch of those stupid Cincos, and I glued them I just cut all the appendages off those baits and had a body, and I just started welding them onto that. And I was like, I'll be dang. That thing works like the triple threat. Yeah, it's this one right here.
The boogeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a crash test dummy or one of the.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Yeah.
It looks like a grappling dummy they use for jujitsu.
And nobody can get over the fact that, how weird it looks, but they'll go out and buy a $30 bag of Japanese plastics. Well, hey, look here. Here's your Japanese plastic. It's made in America, right here in Oklahoma. So come get you all you want. Quit supporting China.
Yeah, I fished it. I mean, I like the way they all fall weird, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like if you have clear water, you can watch it. You're
Right.
locked in,
Right.
watching this thing, like nothing to
How's
see
it
here.
now?
Yeah, like a skydiving in slow motion.
Right.
So-
Right. Yeah, you
So
never know.
was that the second bait, the boogeyman?
That was the second bait. Then I had some baits from an old company. I had a jig, and this is called the Rocker Series jig. If you can see, it's got a cup in the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go watch the video, we have videos on every one of our baits on the side. When you click the bait, it has it. But the cool thing about all our skirted baits is they've got garlic scent built into the skirts. So you don't have to scent your bait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what happens with this thing, since it has a cup in it, it's like, an airplane wing gets lift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has got a cup in it. So when water hits it, it lifts it. But instead of falling like a normal jig straight up and down, this thing falls at an angle. and it is
Oh yeah.
truly the only swim jig, because look, you don't have to do anything to it, right? Any of the baits that we do, except for spinner baits and the ones we reel, they have different action. But this is our soft plastic in this jig is the only thing that you can just throw out there, and when it falls, it does its own thing all by itself. You don't have to work it, you don't do any of that stuff. But I would go out on a limb and saying this is probably the most unique and best.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It reminds me, it reminds me of like the flying lure. Like it was that.
Most jigs, if you did that to it, it just falls straight up and down.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But that thing falls at an angle. So, I mean, for a swim jig, I'm going to go out and make a step. I say this is the only jig on the market that swims by itself. And I think I could make that statement and be 100% confident. Because if you can show me another bass jig that falls at an angle and moves side to side, and if you watch it when it's falling, it's rocking side to side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can show me another jig that does that, I'll retract it.
Does it have a longer swim with a trailer, or does it?
If you put that flat boogeyman on it, it has a lot better glide on it. Because again, right? Why does that happen? Well, because this is flat. Yep. Water lifts flat like an airplane wing, and when it's falling, it's going to fall at an angle.
Very nice. Yeah, I haven't looked at the jigs much because I've been using a lot of the soft plastic stuff.
Right.
That jig is a very interesting. I'm sitting there watching it swim around. I'm mesmerized. You got me hooked. You just stare at the video for 30 minutes, people. You'll buy the whole site.
So that right there is our straight up spinner bait. Now, what makes this spinner bait so unique is this bend, and this bend. Normal spinner bait rides in the water like this, parallel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you set the hook, what happens? When you set the hook, you pull that line, this thing rolls this way and it rolls up. That's how it works. It's like a cam action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought to myself, well, that's kind of stupid, And so I started making some bends in it. Now this thing sits at a 45-degree angle, just like that. So when you set the hook in it on this spinner bait, it goes straight up to the fish's head. And I couldn't think of another better name than straight up. And that's why we call it that. But what's cool about it is if you can see that thing, those blades spin right over the top of that hook. So everybody used to talk about getting short struck and everything else. That's not the case because most spinner bait wires are hanging like this and the blade's all the way up here.
Right.
Well, if they slap that blade, they're never going to get a hook.
Yeah.
Never. But now they have a chance to get that hook because it's rolling right over the top of it.
Yeah, I use that myself, and I haven't had any short strikes or misses at all. Every single bump I've had on it has yielded a catch. So
yeah,
I didn't know there was secret sauce behind it. I just thought it was.
That's the secret sauce behind it, right?
Secret
there.
sauce.
Yeah.
So what's the next bait? What was the progression up? Because I see a bunch of crappie baits too for the crappie fishers out there.
Right.
Crappie fry.
So the next one we did, well, and I actually didn't design this thing totally, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but so the rage was a bass puzzle grass piece.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody has a bass puzzle grass piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather taught me that if you're going to do it like somebody else, and then you just do it like they did it. If it's not broke, you don't fix it.
Right.
So I had a guy bend the wire, make the head is identical to that head. And then I put a different type of blade on it, which I think everybody tells me is better than that blade. And we just call it a bass puzzle double take, a DT. So it's just short bass puzzle DT. And what's really cool about this is super compact. This thing shakes real short strokes. It's not that big wobble. And you pair that with one of our new minnow baits that's got the real life image on it.
Oh yeah.
You see that thing? So I don't know. I see guys putting real images on soft baits.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, they do a really crap job doing it. So
yeah, get a good picture of it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing when I saw the baits for the first time, like if you see them online, they're good pictures of what you have, but when you have it in your hand, you're kind of blown away with the print quality and the way it's put together. So
right. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna tell my.
But these Sakatiyas, they're really cool. I've been wanting to fish this one little area of a pond that I go to on the way to work, to the studio, but it's been too windy because I try to fish them with a nail weight, just to get a little bit of movement. But so where do you see the bait making going in the next 5 years? Because you've got some. I had another bait maker on here who makes some crazy stuff, and I'm like, "What do you do? Just wake up in the middle of the night, like from a dream, and you're like, I need to make a bug with 14 legs."
No, you pay attention to what's going on around you, and you try to make it better. Now look, I've got a regular sock minnow, in regular colors, and this is the identical. I mean, I took one and I made one. That's the God's truth. There's nothing I did unique or different. I did it because that's what everybody wants. They can't find it in the colors they want, and it's made in the United States, and it's $8.96 compared to $12, right? So, we, like I said, we try to stay relevant in the market, but sometimes we don't. We have to go out and try and make something better. And the way I made that better was we printed it, and gave it. I mean, it's just, this just doesn't do it justice. You got to get it in your hands. But, like I said, hang on, I'm trying to tell her to bring me something real quick. All of our Lifelike stuff, just like the stuff you've done for, just like the stuff you've done for it, it's just, it's just so lifelike, it's hard to fathom how you do it. And we got a secret the way we do our stuff, but I want to talk about match the hatch real fast.
Yeah.
So I talked to a lot of guys, and I said, well, what are you trying? What are you doing when you throw that color? Well, we're trying to match what they're eating. Okay. So you go out and you bring them. Hang on. You go out and you bring them something like these. Okay. I just got these done. And these are better looking than what you've seen.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I say, if you're going to go out, you're trying to attract a shad, right? And you're mimicking that bait fish. Then why don't you just throw that? That's a shad. That's a real live shad. I took the picture ourselves. And I don't know that it does it justice. I don't know if I can get close enough. I think maybe does that help?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So we did that. Then we did it in a bluegill. We did it in a spotted sunfish. And we got two others. We just don't have them here yet. But I'll turn this back on. Does it help if this light's on, Roy?
Yeah,
Okay.
It does.
All right.
You need a clapper.
Yeah. Hey. So I asked these guys, if that's what you're using, why don't you throw something that's real? Well, well, give me an answer. I hear this. Well, but it sounds like a car out of time. So I'm going to give you the deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're eating a bluegill. I'm going to give you a bluegill. Why aren't you throwing it? Well, my old Walmart buyer, Mike Moore, from a long time ago, said, you know what your problem is? You're so far ahead of these guys. They don't understand the concept of what you're trying to do. And I said, I can't even fathom that. If I'm wanting to do this, this, and this, and I'm making it to do that, right?
Right.
So here's something that not a lot of people know is I had the patent on putting lifelike images on the soft plastics for a lot of years. And the reason you're seeing it come out now is because my patent ran out. But these guys are doing it the way I did it 30 years ago, which is old hat. I mean, just trash.
Yeah.
So the new way of doing it that we're doing is just
light years ahead.
I mean, I can do anything,
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can't do is I saw a guy the other day and he skinned a bluegill.
Wow.
And he glued the skin to the side of a crankbait after he cured it, and then he painted it. Now I can't get that real. But I can get super close.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what you're doing, you're matching the hatch, right? Then you've got a spinnerbait, and this is the only spinnerbait in the world that's got a picture of a head of a fish on it. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Then we did the blade the same way. Lot of.
It works too. I love the way it feels. I mean, like it's got a good vibration. I've had great hits, no misses. So I like it.
I'm gonna give up a pro tip right here.
Mm-hmm.
Something every pro in the world is gonna inbox me and tell me what a sorry person I am. But if you'll take the very, 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 don't do it on these because the paint will chip off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's on there. And but if you have a regular blade and you can bend a little bit, a tip of this blade up back towards the blade,
mm-hmm.
it'll rock the rod out of your hand. It's amazing. That little bitty, you need to write that down.
I did. I did.
You need to try that. That little bitty modification, that little 1/8-inch tune-up changes a spinnerbait. I don't care whose it is. I'll say that. For all you big companies that are doing it and heard that, I don't give a crap. But that's we may make a spinnerbait one of these days that has that blade on there. I don't know, but that is a total. I mean, no pun intended. It is a game changer. Yeah. And I don't do it to these, and I didn't know how people will react because people react differently all the time. Well, God, that's crazy or that's crazy. So we haven't put it on our stuff yet. Not saying that we won't in the future, but just little tricks and tips and stuff like that. It's just things that I see in the world of fishing that I say, man, we could. They left a lot of meat on the bone on that deal. There's a lot of things you could have done here, and you could have went this way and tweaked it that way. And, and I just pick up on things differently. And
I think that's what the innovative entrepreneurial spirit is. Like you have to look beyond what it is, because if it couldn't be improved, we would just never.
I'll show you. This was done in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And that was some of the best quality anybody ever put out in 1998. But I learned how to do it. And I learned how to do it from I got a hold of a guy up in Pennsylvania, and I said, man, I need live stuff put on my baits. Can you do that? 2 days later, he sent me a crankbait headed on it. And I was like, oh yeah. So, back then, it was some of the hottest stuff they'd ever seen,
Heck yeah. So let me ask you this final question. What has been the most rewarding part of building the brand?
Oh man. Seeing guys that will give it an absolute honest try, come back and say, we didn't know about you. We saw about you on a podcast, or we saw you doing some videos or whatever. We went out and bought the baits, and it's unbelievable. Everything you say or you talk about, it works. I think just bringing something out that works.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing. Kids catching stuff on your product. That is right there. That is the icing on the cake for us. This isn't built just for pros or guys that fish all the time. A kid can pick that spinner bait out and go whack a 5-pounder. I had a kid catch on that boogeyman. Where'd it go? Here it is. On this boogeyman, I had a 8-year-old kid catch an 8-pound bass out of his dad's farm pond.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I first saw him, if you look at him, the boogeyman and the triple threat, you're like, they look like they're not gag gifts, but they don't look like they're something that you should fish with,
Right. Yeah.
Until you do.
But it looks like Japanese stuff you'd fish with.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna give them a chance, why don't you give a guy in the United States the same opportunity?
It's kind of like I was watching a video of it was Jamie Oliver. He's a cook, and he was showing these kids trying to make them eat healthy food. And he had like bits of pieces of chicken. He said, "Would you eat this?" They're like, "No." Then he ground it up, and it was all ground up. He said, "Would you eat this?" They're like, "No." And he made it into little patties, and he said, "Would you eat this?" No. They baked it, and it came out like nuggets. And he's like, "Would you eat this?" And they're all like, "Yes." Like, it's the same stuff that you said no to.
Right.
It's just all how it's presented. So,
right.
Yeah. Just getting in front of people. I mean, I know the struggles of that. We talk about it all the time. It's like with the magazine, eyes on. Here I am. Come see me. Experience what I've got going on. Podcast.
Right.
And you have a large SKU list of things. And
I didn't even get to show you the shaking Chad.
Yeah, that thing's pretty awesome too.
Yeah. It's one of the best weed baits you're going to throw, because when it goes through a weed bed and hits it, it turns totally sideways. But it's got this Colorado blade on it for a little extra thump. Sorry about that, but I forgot about this bait.
Yeah. And you have a complete crappie lineup too. You have jig, hard bait. You got a little bit of everybody in there.
Yeah, we've got the I didn't even put a swim bait up here. So we got the little crappie baits. Let's see a little better. It's got the real life image on the crappie baits. And we have the best hands down, we have the best new swim bait on the market. So everybody else has a pedal tail. It's all connected, right? Straight. This has 4 different breaks in it. So when this tail swings, it almost swings all the way and kisses the sides. It's got such a big action on it. I mean, it is unflipping believable.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, you can see.
Yeah.
You can see how far that tail goes. And we've got a video of it on the site too. And everything we do's got garlic and salt in it. So
I'm going to share this real quick here so people can see it before we get off. But this is
put that.
This is the dancing shad, what we were talking about earlier. You can see how it just bounces through.
Yeah.
So it's got that amazing maneuverability. Which one do you want to put up?
Put up that shaking shad.
Fingers. Baits.
That was it.
Oh. Yeah, it's got a huge head wobble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some great stuff here. I think everyone should go and check it out. Go to GameChangerBait.com and you'll be able to see his full lineup. So before we hop off, is there anything you want to say before we get off?
No, hey, I just want to tell you thanks for everything you do to help me. I mean, Roy's been in the background of what we're doing too for about a year and a half. And man, he's really, I'm telling you right now, if you need graphics or photography work done and you don't do it, you're doing yourself an injustice. This guy has helped me when he didn't have to. And we were struggling building this company, and it's a small company. We got a lot of products, but we're still a very small company. Mm-hmm. And every bit of support we can get to help each other. I mean, that's what it's about, is trying to help each other grow. I mean, I'm 60 years old, and we just need as much push to the marketplace as we can get. It costs a fortune to buy ads and do all the things that we do, but it's necessary to do that and have a totally full lineup of product. So I think we've done a great job about that, getting the lineup going. We've done a really crappy job at getting it pushed out in front of people. So
hopefully get some eyes on this and you get some website visitors, because you got some great products. You just have to get them out there. I'm gonna do my best to share them with whoever. I've actually handed out some of your lures. I keep them in the car, and whenever I see a kid fishing or someone who's out regularly, I'm like, hey, you want to try something new and innovative? Here. Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you hooked up with that. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I really do. I love all the stuff you're making, and we commiserate on the struggles of business. We enjoy the successes as well.
Right.
So it's a great conversation that usually lasts about an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just our regular conversations last about an hour.
My wife's like, "You cheating on me?" I'm like, "No, it's Donnie. Stop. You're embarrassing me." Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to throw you in the background, say goodbye to everyone, and I'll come right back to you.
All right.
All right. Thank you. All right, everyone. That was episode 62 with Donnie Cass from Game Changer Bait. Do yourself a favor and go check them out at GameChangerBait.com. Check out their lineup. They have great stuff. And if you're anywhere near me in Virginia Beach, I might have a bag. If you shoot me a message, I'll send one your way, let you play with it. Again, this episode is brought to you by Snake River Manufacturing. Go check out all of the kayak trailers that Steve and the crew are putting together. Go to snakerivermanufacturing.us. And remember, if you can't afford his trailer right now and you already have one and you want to upgrade your ride, just shoot him a message and say, I have this trailer and I want these products. How can we meld them together? And Steve he'll make it happen. If not, he'll tell you why, but I doubt that it'll be a no, because he's really, really good at making no's into yeses. So also go check out Team Kayak Series on Facebook. They just had their first tournament and they're coming up on the second. Get yourself a buddy, sign up for the Team Kayak Series and get out there and do yourself some fishing with a friend, where you can actually carry them or they can carry you, or you both can just be hammers and make everyone else feel like they should have taken lessons. So also we're sponsored by Yak Attack, Bixby, and Viking Kayaks. They've all contributed things to the purpose, and we want to give them a nod. So, all right. Well, you all have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week.